Hi guys, so to start, show of hands really quickly. How many of you have seen a homeless person? And please keep your hands up if you have willingly of your own volition engaged in a substantial conversation with one of those homeless people. Wow. This is a brilliant group of people. My name is Gillian Styring, and I'm here to share with you my experience with the Teen-2-Teen health survey. But first, let's talk about my journey. When I was 6 years old, my father fell and permanently broke his ankle. This was an important experience for me and catalyzed my interest in health and the art of medicine. Since then, my preoccupation has grown into a passion. And growing on a farm, I have seen birth, injury, life, and death. Lambs are born, pets die, people are injured and need help. The farm where I grew up is near Portland, Oregon. Here, we wear our homeless on our sleeve. We have no aggressive eviction programs. Many of our homeless dwell in the tent cities beneath the very bridges for which our city is famous. This drove me to ask, what effects does homelessness have on the body? How does the body respond to particular stressors and hazards of homelessness? All of our lives as young people, we're told not to talk to strangers. But I realized that in order to answer my questions, I needed to reach beyond my comfort zone and connect with people I thought very different than myself. So I created the Teen-2-Teen health survey. It is a written survey that asked homeless youth about their health, behaviors, perceptions, and then gathers data on concrete health indicators. I included a mainstream sample as well for comparison. But then I needed to actually ask the questions, and that's when it got tough. Service organizations for the homeless were reluctant to help me collect the data because there were no questions asked. I respect that, but I had 46 questions, and I needed answers. So I walked the streets through camps and feeds, under bridges to find homeless teens who would do my survey. There is nothing quite like walking into a parking garage that has been transformed to feed 500 homeless people in a matter of 2 hours. Over the course of a few weeks, I got more comfortable in that setting. The adults that I took with me were quick to notice that there was one entrance and one exit. But I took the time to notice the kittens in the corner, or the 2 young lovers sitting on a curb enjoying a meal. I asked 37 homeless youth in Portland about their health behaviors, perceptions, and health indicators. I asked 47 mainstream teens as well. My 46 questions included how often they sleep indoors, where are they obtaining most of their meals, of the last 10 drinks, how many of them were water. Then I asked them how they felt. Are they anxious, lonely, stressed? Do they have a friend? Do they feel in control of their lives? Then I collect 4 what I call concrete health indicators. Mine were height, weight, blood pressure, and pulse. I spent the next month running statistical analysis on my data. I created means, percentages, correlations, regressions, t-tests, z-tests, every type of test you can imagine. Here is what I have found. First, the obvious. Guess what? Homeless teens sleep indoors less often than mainstream teens. And they eat fewer meals per day, with a mean of roughly 2 meals per day versus 3 for the mainstream teens. Homeless youth are more likely to receive their meals from agencies, shelters, schools. And homeless teens who use those agencies are more likely, drastically more likely to obtain all 10 of their last 10 meals from those sources. Homeless youth indicated a large percentage of them use alcohol at least 1 day per week. This is 71% versus 34%, with a mean of 2 days per week versus 1. Same statistic holds true roughly for marijuana use, with a mean of 4 days per week versus 2. But that's the obvious. it fits the stereotype. Let's talk about a few surprises. For young people who have shelter and food insecurity, my respondents suggested that they feel vastly more in control of their lives than you might expect. On a scale of 0 to 4, 2.89 and 3.34 are not statistically significant figures. Same holds true for stress, loneliness, and anxiety. My homeless respondents answered nearly the same, not statistically significantly different, than the mainstream. However, with hypertension, 68% of my homeless sample indicated that they were at least if not first-degree or second-degree hypertensive or with high blood pressure. This is in contrast to 23% for the mainstream. According to the Mayo Clinic, these are the most prevalent risk factors for hypertension, 4 of which were expressed drastically more in the homeless sample versus my mainstream. The most striking prevalency is with cigarette smoking. 78% of my homeless sample indicated that they smoked cigarettes versus 15% for my mainstream, with a mean of packs per day of 1.6 versus 0.5. Therefore, there is a correlation between cigarette smoking and homelessness. Now, 0.58 and 0.65 are not strong correlations in absolute. I would much rather have had a 0.8 correlation. But they do provide a strong hypothesis for further analysis. I can talk about numbers all day long. Trust me, I have a lot of numbers. But there was one lesson that was all too more personal. I learned that until I had met them, I branded homeless teens as the other, thought them different than myself. But after weeks of doing this survey, I grew a rapport with people that I would see in the same place every Sunday. As time went on, they actually helped me gather data. So what's next? Of course, more research, more statistical analysis. I haven't done all of the T-scores. What I came here today to do is to share my findings and gather a teen perspective on how we together can help improve the health of homeless teens. So how can you help? I want you to think of homeless teens differently the next time you see them. I want you to see them as teens first, who have had and hit hard times. After this workshop, I encourage you to approach me personally with your suggestions on how we can help improve the health of homeless teens, Teen-2-Teen. Thank you.